Gemini Horoscope. Saturn retrograde journey from August 23rd, 2025 to February 13th, 2026. A time of cosmic review. Hello Gemini. Whether you follow thaiastrology and your birthday falls between June 15th and July 15th, or you're a Western Gemini born May 21st to June 20th, this message is for you. From August 23rd, 2025, Saturn, the planet of karma, responsibility, and long-term lessons, turns retrograde until February 13th, 2026. This isn't just a cosmic slowdown, it's an invitation. Retrogrades are not about punishment, but about reviewing, rebalancing, and restructuring your life. For Gemini, Saturn's retrograde takes place in your 9th house, the house of wisdom, higher learning, travel, spirituality, and expansion. Yet Saturn is also your planet of death and transformation in thaiastrology terms, which means it brings endings, closures, and karmic tests before fresh beginnings. The combination of Saturn and Rahu in this house creates a powerful mix. Delays at first, but also breakthroughs through networks, travel, and connections. What Saturn retrograde really means before we dive into your personal forecast, let's pause and understand the nature of Saturn retrograde. Imagine Saturn as the strict teacher of the zodiac. He doesn't reward shortcuts. He doesn't care for quick fixes. Instead, he insists on discipline, patience, and long-term commitment. When Saturn is direct, he pushes us forward with responsibilities, sometimes so much that we feel burdened. But when Saturn turns retrograde, it's like the teacher handing back your old assignments and saying, "Look again. What did you miss? What needs correction? What foundation must you strengthen before you move forward?" For Gemini, this retrograde is about revisiting past plans, old networks, unfinished business and education, travel, or career opportunities related to foreign lands. Think of it as a cosmic audit. Example, imagine you're a Gemini who tried to launch a project with international clients earlier this year. Maybe it stalled, miscommunication happened, or paperwork delayed things. Saturn retrograde could reopen that file, not to punish you, but to give you a second chance to fix the cracks, build stronger contracts, and set it on firmer ground. Work and career. Delays turn into opportunities. One of the clearest areas you'll feel Saturn's hand is in your career, especially projects linked to education, law, publishing, or international business. At first, you may notice slower progress on projects, miscommunications with supervisors or mentors, bureaucratic delays, especially with contracts or legal documents. But remember, Saturn retrograde is not about denial, it's about delay and refinement. Illustrative example. Suppose a Gemini teacher was promised a promotion or a chance to work abroad. At first, paperwork gets stuck. Interviews are postponed. Budgets are cut. Frustrating? Absolutely. But during this retrograde, you'll discover hidden allies, a senior colleague who speaks on your behalf, or a friend who connects you to the right people. By February 2026, the very project that stalled could relaunch with more stability. This retrograde encourages Geminis to finish what's unfinished. If you've been sitting on a manuscript, an academic thesis, or a business expansion plan, dust it off. Saturn favors diligence and persistence. Money and finances, old assets, new value financially. Saturn's retrograde could feel like treading water at first. Money expected from overseas, commissions, or legal settlements may slow down. But here's the hidden blessing. You might rediscover value in old assets, a property, an old investment, or even skills you had set aside. Unexpected income may come from repairs, renovations, or recycling old resources. Example, imagine a Gemini who once invested in land that seemed worthless. During Saturn retrograde, a buyer suddenly becomes interested. Or perhaps you once freelanced in translation or tutoring but set it aside. Suddenly, old clients return, offering you income streams from skills you already own. In short, Saturn asks, what do you already have that you've ignored? Go back. Reuse, repair, profit, relationships and social connections. The power of networks. Perhaps the most fascinating part of this retrograde is Saturn's alignment with Rahu in your ninth house. Rahu, the north node, is about expansion, ambition, and social networking. When Saturn meets Rahu here, your progress depends not on solo effort, but on connections, teamwork, and the wisdom of others. Friends may introduce you to mentors. Communities could open doors you couldn't unlock alone. Advice from an elder or authority figure may change your direction. Illustrative example. Picture a Gemini entrepreneur whose startup is struggling. Out of nowhere, an old classmate introduces them to an investor. The deal doesn't close instantly. It takes months of revisions, but the introduction sparks a chain reaction that eventually saves the business. In relationships, Saturn retrograde may test partnerships. Promises will be reviewed. Old issues resurface. Only bonds built on honesty and effort survive. For singles, it could mean rekindling contact with someone from the past, not always for romance, but for closure or karmic learning. Travel and education, revisiting old paths. The ninth house governs travel and higher education, and Saturn retrograde here often triggers journeys, not always forward but back. You may revisit a place you once lived or studied. Travel plans may be delayed, but serve a purpose once fulfilled. Education opportunities could reappear, a postponed exam, a scholarship reopening, or a course you once abandoned. Example: a Gemini who dropped out of a course years ago may suddenly feel called to complete it. Or you may return to a city where you once lived, this time to finish paperwork, reconnect with contacts, or resolve unfinished matters. The key theme: returning before advancing. Saturn insists you retrace steps before building the new. Health and well-being, old issues, new awareness. Physically, Saturn retrograde often brings back old health concerns, especially those ruled by Saturn: bones, teeth, joints, and chronic conditions. For Gemini, this is a reminder to care for the body through discipline, regular checkups, long-term health routines, rather than quick fixes, mindful rest to avoid burnout from overtravel or study. Illustrative example: a Gemini who once ignored dental care may suddenly need to revisit it, or an old knee injury might flare up, not to harm you, but to remind you. Strengthen your foundation, or you can't walk far. Saturn in the ninth also impacts mental outlook. Some Geminis may wrestle with philosophical questions. Am I on the right path? Do I still believe what I believed before? This retrograde invites reflection, spiritual practice, and guidance from teachers or inner wisdom. Challenges to watch out for: not everything is smooth during this transit. Key challenges include 1. Delays in paperwork, contracts, or promotions. 2. Conflicts with authority figures. Supervisors, teachers, or legal authorities may feel stricter. 3. Temptation from too good to be true deals. Saturn warns against shortcuts or shady investments. 4. Overcommitment. Networking is good, but spreading yourself too thin could backfire. Story example: imagine a Gemini who rushes into a quick overseas job offer without checking the contract. 6 months later, they discover hidden conditions. Saturn retrograde advises: pause, review, question everything. The silver lining: blessings in disguise. Despite challenges, this retrograde has silver linings. Karmic rewards from past efforts may arrive. Support from networks, mentors, and friends grows stronger. Long-term stability forms after the retrograde ends. When Saturn goes direct on February 13, 2026, he shifts into your 10th house of career, a powerful placement. Everything you've reviewed and rebuilt during retrograde becomes the launch pad for new responsibilities, promotions, or recognition. Practical advice for Gemini: 1. Revisit unfinished projects. Don't start brand new, complete the old. 2. Network wisely. Reach out to old contacts, you'll be surprised who helps. 3. Travel with purpose. If delays happen, trust the timing. 4. Mind your health. Slow down, care for your body's foundation. 5. Avoid shortcuts. That if something sounds too easy, Saturn says it's not real. Closing, the cosmic message. So, Gemini, Saturn retrograde from August 23rd, 2025 to February 13th, 2026 is not a punishment. It's a cosmic pause button. Does the universe asking you to slow down, check your work, honor your past, and strengthen your foundations before stepping into a major career chapter next year. It may feel like delays, but those delays are Saturn's way of saying, when you finally arrive, you'll be ready, stable, and unstoppable. Trust the process. Use this time to refine, reconnect, and rebuild. By the time Saturn moves direct, the doors that open for you won't just be temporary, they'll be built to last.